What up? Welcome to the 33rd episode of the Back of the Class podcast. We are your hosts. I am the Esteban Serrano.
I'm Juan.
And Zach is under the weather, man. I hope he feels better.
Word.
He will be missed this episode.
I hope it's not the flu. Because the flu shots are like this week in the office.
Yeah, that would suck.
That'd be kind of ironic that he gets it the day there's flu shots.
I don't know.
But feel better.
Hopefully it's just
Zachary.
a little tummy ache. Yeah, feel better, Z-Money. On today's episode, we're going to talk about this whole hashtag Save Nelly movement. We're going to talk about the latest Tupac Biopic trailer. And today is Wednesday, and it was the anniversary of when Pac passed. Yesterday. Yeah. So that, the trailer came out on that, historic day. And Snoop D.O. Jizzle
for shizzle
has teased the possibilities of a Snoop, Dre, Kendrick, Eminem world tour. So we'll talk about that. And then we're going to introduce a whole new segment called What Happened To?
Or whatever happened to.
Whatever happened to.
Yeah, it's a you'll get it.
And you'll get it when it's time. So if you guys are longtime listeners, because this is the 33rd episode of the Back of the Class.
It's the Patrick Ewing.
It's the Patrick Ewing episode. Then of course you should be subscribed.
Because he was number 33. Just in case.
People got Patrick
just
Ewing
in case
episode.
Non-sports fans don't get the reference.
They know. The non-sports fans know that Pat was 33.
Can you get a 33 in football? That's tough. I don't think I can.
Oh, and I'm gonna have to think about it. I think I can, but I think about that. Anyway, let's get right into it. Nelly, a.k.a. Dirty, a.k.a. the Saint Lunatic himself, owes the IRS $2.4 million.
Of them things.
Of them things shouty. So, fans have hit up the streaming services and have played Hot in Her on repeat in hopes to drum up enough residual money to help my man pay his bills.
I tell you this country, bro. People will donate $1 to listen to Hot in Here, but if you ask them to register to vote, no thanks, I'm good.
You know what's funny? So I just read a story that a kid in the audience behind like Saturday football like pre-show held up a sign that said, "Hey mom, please send beer money," and it had his Venmo account information.
Wow.
He got thousands of dollars donated to him just because people saw the sign and sent him money on Venmo. But yes, you're absolutely right. People will come to the aid of some of the dumbest things.
Why? And this is like this is the new thing. You in trouble, you need money, fund me.
Right. GoFundMe.
Even when you have money, like Kanye trying to start fucking funds and shit when my man sold $1 million worth of merch at MSG
in one night.
In one night.
Come on, man.
Nelly wants everyone else to pay his debt.
No. I don't think Nelly started this movement. I think the lunatic fans, pun intended, started.
He didn't start that shit, but he's gonna finish it.
Right.
Using that money to pay it off. Best believe.
The iconic Jay-Z line. The only one moving units is Pimp Juice,
and us,
and me.
And that was at that span of time that has passed a very long time ago.
I mean, he sold 10 million copies of his debut album.
He did.
He's one of the biggest selling rappers, of all time.
I look at it two ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
$1 is, to me and you, like if somebody's like, yo, give me $1 and I'll play Hot in Here. And I'll be like, if I have the time, maybe I'll be like, and I have the $1 in my pocket, why not? Like it's $1. So I get it from that.
Right.
It's just annoying when like there's other causes out there when people approach people to like, hey, 25 cents to save, the fucking whales.
Right.
Bro, the whales. Come on. No, I'm good. Keep it moving. And it's like, but whatever. Everyone has their own stuff that they are into or
Right.
are willing to donate their time and money to.
Yeah,
it's just funny.
I agree that this it's a gift and a curse. It's like a good and a bad thing that people want to, when causes, be it important or not, go viral and people want to participate. That a lot of change or a lot of things can happen. Now, in this case, it's Nelly. But here's the bad part about this situation. The money that Nelly will actually see from the residuals, like, you would have to be streaming this. Like, Hot in Her has to be #1 on Billboard for the next, like, month or something for him to see a significant amount of money. It ain't going to be nowhere near $2.4
Also,
million.
people are just buying it.
They're not buying it.
Residuals?
They're streaming it. They're streaming it. They're constantly playing it on Pandora and Spotify and Apple Music, Tidal on repeat because they get paid per play. So, but it's like 0.0000 cent a play or something.
Yeah, they
like
get
that.
fractions of a penny for play.
Fractions of a penny.
I thought, because
they were buying it again.
I thought they were buying it, or there was like somebody just started a GoFundMe or a Kickstarter to pay his debt. Because I was gonna be like, the IRS not probably gonna take that money.
Right? No.
Because it's not his.
No, they're trying a smart way to help him. That's not costing them any extra money. I'm sure they pay for these services anyway.
Do you think Nelly has 1.2 right now to give to the?
No, he owes 2.4.
Oh, 2.4.
Yeah, he owes 2.4 million just in taxes. Do I think he has money? Absolutely. Here's why. He's on. He just did that horrible Honey Nut Cheerios commercial.
Okay, but
not
he
too
didn't
long
get
ago.
Paid millions for that.
He didn't get paid millions, but he got paid for it.
He might have got paid in Cheerios.
Shut up. He's on Hip Hop Husbands of Hollywood for the past 3 seasons.
He is?
Yes.
Who's his wife?
House Husbands of Hollywood. He's the only single one on there who is like having fun. Everyone else is divorced or married or getting divorced.
I still don't see him earning millions.
But he also still tours. He also, still getting residual money from Hot in Here and all these other big records that he had. Albeit not a lot, but
so
dude, at one point, listen, if at one point Nelly sold 10 million copies. If at one point Nelly had a #1 record for a majority of if he had these things, then he has made tens of millions of dollars
and this is
over
true,
the last
but it's been
decade.
How long since that?
Right.
You don't know what he's
spending his money on.
Yeah, you don't know what he's spending his money on.
Right.
Dude, we've heard about sports figures, music figures.
Right. I'm saying he shouldn't owe anybody 2.4 million, #1. But a lot of times, another thing that happens in these cases is that obviously Nelly's not sitting there with the green sun visor and the calculator tallying up his own credits, his own taxes. A lot of times there's accountant oversights or accountants that you're being on the payroll and ain't really paying things.
I feel like
that's what happened with
every man is responsible for
with Fat Joe. That's what happened with a bunch of other artists who had crazy tax situations. It was like, what do I pay my accountant for if he's not taking care of my money? A lot of these, and I know from personal experience of living with Chris Brown. He has a certain amount of money that's allotted to him per week or month or whatever. Granted, it's a whole lot of money, but he's not writing checks to the IRS. That's what his accountant is for.
See, me, and it's probably just me because the type of person, I would just be like, every year, I'd be like, hey, you paid the taxes we owed for this year?
And then they'll say,
all right, send me a copy of it for my records. Because,
but listen, bro.
When you're making that much money, that can't be an oversight, whether your accountant is oversight.
But when you're making that much money.
But you got to cover yourself because, now, let's say the accountant, is the one who did that and didn't pay the money to Uncle Sam, right? And now he's getting this residual bill that this balance he has to pay. If let's say he was, on his account every year, yo, send me a copy of the check that you sent the IRS.
Right.
And he gave you BS copies, he could go to court and be like, I had an account, I was paying him this amount of money, he was handling my financial affairs, I have copies here of the checks he said he wrote, so I should be absolved of this and my accountant should be the one responsible. I don't know if that even can't be done. I don't have a
think
law
that can
degree
be.
or an economics
No.
degree.
But here's the situation, right? You got to understand, an artist who is a humongous hit-making celebrity, however you want to break it down, the amount of revenue that is coming in and out is impossible for you to catch, for
True.
you to, which is why you hire these big accounting
True.
firms.
That's 100%. I'm just talking about you also gotta cover your ass.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. You can't just be blind to it and like, yeah, I assume he's doing it, because then now
Right.
now what? Now that he has 2.4.
I'm sure he got it, bro.
I'm sure he
he's
has it,
got
but I'm sure it's gonna make a dent.
Oh yeah, of course, it's gonna make a dent.
Because at this point, dude, we know NBA players who are making $20 million a year,
Right.
15, $10 million
Broke.
a year, and played like 8 seasons.
Right. Bro.
That are broke.
Right.
So this dude, after it being 15 years since his peak,
Mm-hmm.
it's not out of the realm of possibility to say like, oh, maybe he has $1 million or $2 million. Maybe he's just a 6-figure person right now. You never know.
You never know, man. Hopefully, Nelly got the money, take care of it. He's always been a great guy in terms of, you never heard any really bad things about Nelly. He's one of the celebrated hip hop artists, not not clowned, not like the butt of a joke or anything like that. Wait, didn't your wife go see Nelly with Backstreet Boys not too long ago?
Yeah, when they
you
played
know
the
how
Garden.
much money he made on that tour? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he probably cleaned up.
Man,
I mean, it probably
listen.
trickled down. Like the new kids probably made most of the
No,
dough.
bro. I'm sure they split. Dude.
Evenly?
Nelly is a huge.
He wasn't headliner. He wasn't even with Nelly. It was just like the NK whatever tour. And then it's like, oh, Kelly's on it. Nelly's
okay,
on
yeah,
it.
so
It
maybe
wasn't
that.
like New Kids on the Blocks featuring Nelly.
I'd
It was
be
just like New Kids on the Blocks.
surprised.
Oh yeah, and Nelly's in it too.
I'd be surprised if he didn't clear $100,000 a show.
Oh no, he probably. I wouldn't guarantee.
I
it.
wouldn't
don't
be
guarantee,
surprised if he did. I mean, I would be surprised if he didn't clear $100,000 a show, and I'm
I'm
sure
sure
that
he
that
did.
had at least 20 cities on
I'm
it.
sure he did.
That's $2 million right there. Anyway, if you're a big Nelly fan, go listen to some Hot and Her. Go stream some of that Country Grammar, 10 million selling platinum album, and help the boy out. But I'm sure he doesn't need it. Just continue.
Hopefully, he's not taking
to
care
love
of
his music.
all the lunatic Keywan and Murphy Lee and.
Yeah, all of them boys, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's
I know Keywan
hilarious.
because he has my name with a key in front of it.
Key Juan.
And then Murphy Lee was like supposed to be like the next one.
No,
and-
Murphy Lee was a dope MC.
but he never blew up.
Nothing happened.
So-
Chingy, remember Chingy was signed to Nelly.
He was signed, but he wasn't a lunatic.
No, he wasn't a lunatic. Anywho, let's move on to one of the greatest, most prolific rappers of all time,
Prolific.
Tupac. So the trailer for the Tupac biopic hit the internet earlier in the week to commemorate the death anniversary, I guess they call it.
Yeah. Is it
Of-
was it his birthday or the death anniversary?
I think it was the anniversary of his death. But
Yeah, he died in September.
but yeah. So what were your reactions, man? What did you think about this?
Whoever they got to play him looked really, really like him.
Yeah,
Um,
I felt like a lot of the articulation and the pronunciation of
yeah,
words.
like
and
even
stuff.
his face and like
No, yeah, he
they
looks
got the
like
wardrobe like perfect.
Right.
You know what's crazy? Because like you worked at MTV, I worked at VH1 for years. Like so, I worked on shows where I had to watch footage of Tupac a lot for
Mhm.
like the 100 greatest shows I worked on and so forth. So like I feel like I've seen all that stuff a million times and know all those stories because I
right.
researched them and all that good shit. They did a good job with recreating all that stuff and recreating like his outfits and
Agreed.
so it was like watching it again.
Right. It was like some of these iconic images came to life again.
Yeah, it was just different because usually, like the trailer seemed like I don't know who's the studio behind it. I don't know
Right.
who's directing it. I don't know who's acting in it. Usually trailers is like from the director of this
Right.
or from
Mhm.
the people who brought you this. It was just
Right.
like, here's a trailer. Who the hell is it? A big budget
Right, right,
studio?
right.
Is it small studio? Like I have no clue. Like or if like executive producer Afeni Shakur, like his mom. Nothing.
Right.
There's like nothing there. having said that, though, I mean, I'm not the biggest Tupac fan in the world, so
Right.
I'm probably not gonna rush to the theater to see it. But I'll watch it like once it comes out on like streaming services and whatnot.
You're not going to the theater to see this movie, bro.
Nope.
Now, were you gung ho about going to the theater to see NWA, or you heard all of the good reviews and then you were like, I'm gonna go?
I
see
wanted to go see NWA.
You wanted to?
Yeah, just because F. Gary Gray, I really like his work.
Oh, okay.
And I knew it was gonna be
You
good.
knew he was gonna make it. Good. Okay. Dude, I'm
but like even like
surprised.
Biggie's probably my all-time favorite.
Did you see Notorious? In
I saw
theaters?
Notorious, but I didn't go to the movie theater to see. I saw
You
it.
didn't go to. You don't feel like an obligation to go support these films?
Not that one.
Why? If you're
don't
such a
know.
huge fan of these artists, like what I don't understand is like that is your opportunity to make it be known that this is what you're a fan of in terms of your
Well, I
spending
do it for
power.
Biggie. I do it by spending it on music.
No, but I'm saying is like we hip hop is one of those things, one of those genres that are overlooked. That's not even really considered a genre of music. Like, so people don't know that there's an audience to create content and films and plays and all this stuff around it without people actually going to support it, which was why I thought it was funny that people were surprised that the amount of support that NWA's the Straight Outta Compton film had. But like, I feel as a hip hop fan, I am obligated. I have to go see it opening weekend. I have to go just to give my money to support. I remember we went as a family to go see Selma. When we went, it was all sold out. But there was a showing at like 10 something at night. We weren't going to be able to see it. I bought tickets to see the show and never went to see it. I went and streamed it online or whatever, illegally. However, I bought tickets to see it because I know that if these types of films don't get a good review or rating, then the budgets are never going to be open for them to ever be created, and all I'm going to see is a bunch of slavery, and all I'm going to hear is a bunch of rock songs.
See, I understand. That makes sense. Me personally, call me a jerk, call me selfish. You'll probably be right. I just put
you're a selfish jerk. No,
I put personal preference in front of everything.
Right.
Like,
right.
When Notorious came out, I probably wanted to see it, and then I said, I just have certain like rules. Like,
and we also have movie standards. You know that kind of crowd that's going to go see
number one, yeah.
Notorious.
I know the
We
crowd
don't
that's
want to
gonna
be
go see
around them.
Notorious. I'm not gonna get to watch it without having 100 fools yelling or singing along
Or trying to sell
or
you their
fighting,
demo.
or selling their mixtapes. Like,
exactly.
that's number one. Number
Knew you
two,
right
I
about
really
that.
don't like going to the movies on opening weekends because
It's too crowded.
you got to be there dumb early to get a good seat. You got to get there dumb early to get your ticket, or you'll get sold out depending on the movie.
Right.
Like, I don't want to go through that shit. Like, I
I
did
feel
that
you.
shit when I was younger. I don't want to do it now.
Right.
Like, Notorious came out a couple years ago, and I honestly, like, probably didn't. Cool. I'll see it, but I wasn't like gung ho about it.
Right.
But
I
like
feel you.
me, like I get what you're saying. Like, you have to support shit that you want more of.
And you buy the music. I
And
know
I'm
as
like
your
that.
friend, you buy
I'm like that
music.
in other shit. Like, when it comes to like comics, like I'll buy indie comics just because like indie comics. I support indie comics, right? I'll go to indie wrestling shows because indie wrestling is where you don't have the guys that are on top now. Without they started all somewhere, so you support indie shit.
No, I feel you.
When it comes to artists, like I'll just buy their like,
buy
I
their
was a
music.
big like I was a big fan of Slaughterhouse,
Right.
and they had just dropped like EPs and mixtapes until they came out with their album.
Yeah.
And I bought that whole album,
Right.
and
Right.
the whole album wasn't great. I mean, the album was
Right.
good; it had dope tracks here and there, but from top to bottom, it wasn't like a masterpiece.
Right.
But I
you
bought it anyway
support
just because I wanted to support because I like those
Exactly.
guys and I'm a fan of all of them.
Word.
But yeah, Notorious, I think I saw like when it was at HBO or some shit,
Right. Well, listen, man.
and that movie sucks anyway.
To go back to the Tupac, I almost feel like I'm not sure if the guy who's playing Suge Knight is the same Suge Knight as Straight Outta Compton, but they did tap.
That'd be funny if they just like use a lot of those guys.
Right, because they did tap Gravy, who played Biggie in Notorious,
Yeah,
to
I saw
play
that.
Biggie
I saw
in
that.
this Tupac biopic. It's like the whole universe.
What's his name?
His name is Gravy. His rap name was Gravy.
Why did I think it was like Gorilla something?
No, Gorilla Black is a rapper from the West Coast who sounded like Biggie, and he never lasted.
Okay, I thought it was a Gorilla.
There was a Gorilla Black.
He did really good playing Biggie. I like.
Yeah, Gravy was a great Biggie.
Yeah.
And so when I saw Gravy's cameo in it, I was like, oh, that's dope because we know that the Tupac Biggie timeline will intertwine.
And in the movie universe, you connect him as the movie Biggie, so it makes sense.
Yes, I love that. I also I just don't know. I see Suge Knight. I don't know the timeline. I would have liked to see a Tupac story that kind of told the story from early Tupac. Like, I would have liked to have seen...
Like when he was a dancer and all that good
shit. Yeah, when he backup danced for Digital Underground. You know, maybe how he got to California. And maybe they'll show some of these things because he was born in the East Coast. He was, I think, raised in Baltimore and moved to California at a certain time. I would have liked to see how he adapted to life in California. I would have liked to see his relationship with his mom and his sister. I would have liked to see some of these stories that we hear in the music. I would like to see him experience.
Well, you don't know if
them.
it's not in it because you just saw a trailer.
But we don't.
So.
But these are things that I'm hoping for when I I think of the Tupac biopic.
You know what I like is that one of my biggest, and we made it, make me and you talk about, is one of the things we bond over is that we and you were never big Tupac like I get it, but I never was that big. You know, I wasn't a Biggie guy.
Right, and I loved. I listen. I bought the Tupac albums. I listened to I bought every album back then. I listened to them. I was a fan, but I wasn't a stan. Like Biggie, Nas, like the Roots. These are like, I'm a stan. I know everything about everyone. You know, whatever.
Yeah, like you buy every album. But with Pac, it's like, this song's dope. Oh, that song is dope.
Right.
That song is dope. Oh, he killed this song. But for me, you know, people would raise him to such a pedestal. And I'm trying to say it not to sound like an asshole.
No.
But in a way, he rapped about a lot of stuff that I really could not directly relate to.
Right.
So it didn't resonate with me.
Was that regional?
It's a regional thing, and also I lived in Queens, and I came up in a like low income neighborhood, but I wasn't in the projects, or I wasn't in gang affiliated like area, so I didn't really I was treated like any other minorities treated, but not how like black people would be treated in those days and what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And then the crack epidemic and all the drug stuff. Like I wasn't around that. I was around it, but in the Colombian aspect of it, which is completely different.
Which is different, absolutely.
But I always acknowledge how good he was.
Mm-hmm.
But I never saw him as what people put him like, yo, he's the fucking greatest rapper ever. And I was like, I could name you probably 5 guys who rap better.
Right.
The shit he's talking about is real and should be talked about, but I was never like his number one fan. Having said that, though, what I like about what I saw in the trailer is that they do show the parts, because one of my biggest knocks with him was the whole thing between him and Biggie. I felt he let everyone around him manipulate him into getting into that beef.
Right.
And it was unnecessary because look what happened. You know what I'm saying? And then you see in the trailer where Suge's like, yo, you got to be death row all day.
Right.
And you got to be this version of yourself.
Right.
And he let himself get manipulated for being such a strong character that he was and a visionary that he was. I felt like he was weak in the aspect of he let Suge manipulate him.
Right.
You know, he should have seen the writings on the wall when Suge and Dre had their falling out. Because Dre was very similar, where he's a strong character dude, and he left.
Right.
So, like, my biggest knock was, and granted, probably because I was a Biggie fan, that he just let himself get manipulated into beefing with Biggie.
Right.
And
I mean, and that's kind of the trappings of being, a high, a celebrity. You have the people around you, the yes men or whatever. The entourage, the hype. You know what I mean? They can, you can lose touch with reality, especially when people are feeding you these things, and this is the only information you're getting. You can't even be objective because you're only getting, oh, he set you up. And he's like, oh, he set me up. Like, what's up with that? You don't even know what's the real
you'd
situation.
You'd expect that from, like, some run-of-the-mill guy, not a dude who was so sophisticated and so he was a critical thinker. Like,
but he was still young, bro. He was still young. But
but for his age, he was still like talking about relevant shit at the
Right.
time and very thought-provoking stuff.
Right.
I just thought he should have, been a little smarter when it came to that kind of shit. So.
Yeah. I mean, another thing that I'm hoping, so with the Straight Outta Compton biopic, it was fluffy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they talked about the beef, but it was clowned. It was funny. It wasn't really like the beef with Ice-T and the rest of the group, Ice Cube, sorry, and the rest of the group was kind of glazed over.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The whole Jerry Heller, the whole, Suge Knight stuff. That stuff, it was deep, but it still was kind of fluffy. The stuff with the riots was serious, but like,
it was produced. It was like,
produced.
Yeah, it was
now,
a major motion picture version of the events.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, Suge bailed Pac out of jail, and and how he got to do that was Pac signed over a crazy deal.
He signed his masters over, didn't he?
He signed like everything over so that he can get out. And so like I wonder how dark those times are going to get. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what story are they going to tell? Are they going to give us a great uplifting movie about Tupac, being a revolutionary, being a groundbreaking artist, visionary and all that stuff? And, they touch on certain issues but not go all the way there, or are we going to go there? Yeah. That's the thing. And that's the difference when you bring up, like, it feels like it's an indie film, which means they have the creative license to go there because they're not affiliated with any record companies. They're not affiliated with anybody.
That's why I wish I knew if his mom was involved.
Right.
Either his mom still, I don't know, she passed away, right?
Passed, yeah.
But that was recently?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if she had any input in it. But like,
yeah, man.
What sucks is if she's gone, they really could have changed whatever the fuck they wanted to change after she passed. And I mean, who's to say anything different if she wanted stuff a certain way? Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know who has power of attorney over his. Because
he didn't have kids either. Did he have brothers and sisters?
He had a sister. I don't know if she's still alive, but yeah, Afeni passed away May 2nd, 2016.
Yeah,
so.
she passed away this year.
So, but yeah, I mean, look, and another thing is, of course, as hip hop, we love to compare and put things against each other. Straight Outta Compton was a smash hit movie. And, if this movie comes out and it's not up to par on that, then we're going to rip it to shreds and not appreciate it in any way, shape, or form. I think they know that the stage is set, the bar is set kind of high, and it seems like they can deliver. But like you said, Notorious, people hated it. I loved it because I just want to see anything.
I think people are going to go see it because it's funny because when I grew up and everybody loved Tupac in the neighborhood, everybody loved Tupac. Asian, Spanish, black, whatever. When I met my wife and I started like hanging out with like her crew, like her, my brothers-in-laws, her brothers, my wife is white, and then their friends who are mostly white, and they were like, if my friends in my neighborhood were like all in on Tupac, these motherfuckers like doubled down on Tupac. They knew the deep cuts, the stuff that didn't make albums. They knew the words. They had the posters. They had all of that. So that leads me to believe that those people are probably a lot more. Yeah, like that. Those numbers are way higher than, that just leads me to believe there's way more people, a bigger audience that's going to go see this movie because he still probably holds a place in their memory and in their heart. And, so will it beat Straight Outta Compton? Probably. I don't want to say probably not. I just feel Straight Outta Compton was such a big studio, promoted, heavily advertised. I don't think like this. Yeah, this trailer just doesn't show that. This trailer has like, it doesn't tell you anything. What studio? Like nothing. So, but the fact that it's Tupac might kind of tip the scale to having a great turnout. So yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Will it be Straight Outta Compton or will it be Notorious? We will see.
Yeah. All eyes on. No, I'm not gonna make that.
All right, we're going to keep it West Coast for this next topic. We got to talk. So, in an interview with Rolling Stone, Snoop said that there is a possibility of a Snoop, Dre, Kendrick, Eminem world tour. Holy shit.
Yeah, sign me up.
Can this happen?
I just can't help but think, who the fuck closes and who opens?
Well, you know Kendrick is opening. If they just go on record sales, Kendrick is opening.
Well, yeah, they're
Snoop
going
is
record
next.
sales, yeah.
M is next, and then in seniority, Dre is.
You
closing.
know what? I might argue Snoop opens.
There's no way, bro. Doggy Style is a diamond album.
Yeah, that's true.
Come
yeah,
on.
based on record sales. I'm just
And
talking.
then catalog.
I'm talking about like today. If today. To today's crowd,
still
not going by record sales, I think I would open with Snoop
sales.
to get everybody nice and hyped, get everybody into the mood. Then I hit him with Kendrick.
Okay.
And then you hit him with Dre, and then Snoop comes out and does his stuff that he does with Dre.
And then Eminem closes.
And then, Eminem I feel like he's out of all of them, he's the highest selling, right?
Eminem?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just, I don't know. I feel like me personally, and M is like up there on my top 3.
Of course.
And a lot of people's top 3.
I mean, he should be.
This generation, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, like, even when he was putting out shitty filler albums,
it was still better than everything.
It was still better than everything. Yeah, so
exactly. Listen, my opinion, what I would love to see, especially following the Coachella Tupac Snoop Dogg moment that happened about 4 years ago, I would love to see Eminem, Snoop, and Dre share the stage in terms of like the entire night is Dr. Dre, but his stuff that he did with Kendrick, like Kendrick comes on and Dre is there and
like
kind of dips out,
like he's a through line between all of them. That'd be cool.
And then Snoop, we take it back to the 90s, and Snoop and they do their big records together.
Just have them on stage at the same time the whole time?
Yeah.
Like a band, basically.
And then Eminem closes the M and Dre show.
That actually be pretty cool and different.
Think that's the way to do it.
That'd be pretty cool and different.
Because you don't want to hear full sets from all of these artists. You just want to hear the dope Dre shit that they've all done.
I mean, you do, but then also...
Because M could rock for hours. Snoop could rock for hours.
But if you think about what, like, all right, as an Eminem fan, what do you want to see? Besides, forgot about Dre, like all the Dre shit,
right.
you know, what's the difference? Whatever, Exhibit's in there, but who gives a shit? But, like, I would love to see him do Lose Yourself, and that's not a Dre track.
I would love to see him.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm not saying that they do the Dre stuff only, but what I'm saying is their sets are abbreviated.
Gotcha.
And I would think
like something with Kendrick. Like, you don't want to see just the Kendrick Dre shit.
I want to hear a dope, high-powered 45-minute set from Kendrick. And then I would want to hear an hour set from Snoop. And I would want to hear an hour set of M. And then at the end, I think Dre puts the cherry on top and does some of his own stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe brings them back out for, like, I would love to see I would love to hear a couple of NWA records with Kendrick and Snoop and M sharing the mic for some of the parts that would be like an Eazy-E or DJ Ren.
I mean, they've done tours together.
Like Ren or something like that.
The Up in Smoke tour they did a while back. And they were all on
but I want to see it in a different setting, especially now with Kanye raising the bar on performances. And, you know, the whole Drake and Drake versus Lil Wayne tour. Like, you know, there's a time now where people can share the stage as opposed to it being a
Would you
lineup.
qualify that as a nostalgia tour? Or no, because Kendrick's in it? Like, you know, like you see Kanye perform
question.
Now.
That's a good question.
Kanye right now, like, you look at that crowd, it's the kids, man. It's the young adults.
It's
the kids. It's not the nostalgia
not
tour.
2004 Kanye.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Dre, Snoop, M. I know Kendrick's in there, but I think the majority of that audience would be the nostalgia guys like me and you, who are in their early 30s, late 20s, who want to see their favorite artists, and it's like a bonus that you get to see the current best rapper in the game right now in Kendrick.
Yeah, man, that's a great question. I don't know. I just don't want to hear any new Snoop stuff, and I don't want to hear any new Eminem stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Like new.
Yeah, I don't want to hear none of that shit.
I wouldn't mind listening to new Eminem stuff, but not new Snoop.
I don't want to hear any new Snoop. I don't even want to hear any any Nate No Limit Snoop, and that's not even new.
Whoa. Don't no.
What?
Don't even acknowledge that was a thing.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear Doggy Style. I want to hear Dog Pound stuff. I want to hear him and Dre stuff. I don't necessarily. I would listen to the him and Pharrell stuff.
Yeah.
But like,
Honestly,
I
that
don't want to
information.
hear. We don't need all of that. We can get a good 4-hour night, rocking out, enjoying our
It'd be
lives.
dope too, like if they debut like a new song with all of them on the same track.
Exactly.
That'd be pretty cool.
And he has some detox stuff that is in the tuck that he ain't never bled out the bag that
Shit's
would
in a
be
fucking
amazing.
Safe somewhere.
Exactly.
Triple
A
lock.
Beats by Dre safe somewhere. And especially on the heels, dude, people are losing their minds over this Bad Boy Family reunion tour.
That's a nostalgia tour.
That's a nostalgic tour, but like people are losing their mind over this tour. Like the merch that they're bringing out. They have the jersey, the Bad Boy jersey that Biggie wore in the Juicy video.
Yeah, I mean
is a piece of
that
merch.
shit you buy to put in like your
and you
office
frame
or
it.
in your crib.
Absolutely,
Like,
but what I'm
you don't wear
saying
that
is
shit.
like, come on, like these are some dude. If Snoop came out with that weed hat, dad hat.
Yeah.
With the marijuana leaf on it, it would go crazy. If M came out with some old Slim Shady merch.
Did that tour start already? The family, the P Diddy and the
Oh
fam?
yeah, it's been on for a month
Is
now.
the Locks in that too?
Yes.
See, I would go
Mace
just to see the Locks.
is in it. I think 112, like the whole Bad Boy roster, bro. Faith.
How are they doing Biggie? Video?
I don't know. I haven't seen it because I couldn't even get tickets.
Is Lil
to
Kim
it.
in it?
I think she is.
That's a tough one to
Yeah,
watch.
it's a tough sell.
That's a tough one.
But it's the music.
But that catalog.
That catalog is
catalog is sick.
amazing. So I mean, I don't know. I'm excited. I hope I'm gonna really keep my eyes out
P Diddy and the fam. Who you know
because
do it
I
better?
missed that tour and I'm kicking myself in the ass for it. But this tour I can't miss.
Yeah, and this is
It
all
really
hypothetical.
goes
Like
down.
this isn't Snoop saying it's gonna happen. He said that would be the dream team.
But he
dream
did say
tour.
that Dre is putting it together, so it ain't like
Yeah,
it's not as dream as it
Yeah.
is. But
but I also
and-
don't want people expecting like in a couple months. It's like,
right,
it might be 2 years from now, 1 year from
right.
now. Who
You
knows,
know how
but-
that works,
yeah.
man. But that would be amazing. All right, so set up this last segment. Whatever happened to?
So yeah, so like there's a lot of times where I would just get a song in my head out of nowhere. Like for example, This Is Why I'm Hot by Mims came on something or somewhere. It showed up on my like sometimes I go through like these wormholes on YouTube.
Mims. Right.
And I was like, holy shit, I forgot I listened to it. I'm like, damn, this is a hot fucking song. And then I just go, whatever happened to Mims? And it happens a lot.
Right.
Even like recent stuff, you're like, yo, like this dude, somebody put out a song 2 years ago. Haven't heard a damn thing.
Right.
And then you were like, what are they up to? And then the joke is like, oh, he's probably, seating people at Yankee Stadium or some shit now because he probably.
He's an usher.
Yeah. Or like, he's working at Lowe's. But like, yeah, so like, we're going to introduce the segment where we just go whatever happened to, and like one of us will just throw a name out there, and maybe you'll get lucky and one of us, including Zach, will know what they're up to nowadays.
Exactly.
Probably not. Or maybe you guys listening could tell us like, oh, he's still doing shows and
Right.
selling out fucking colleges, and
Right.
we'll be like, oh, good for him. Like, we don't mean it maliciously either. It's
No,
just,
because
it's
if
like
we're
a
bringing
legit,
you up, then you made something.
yeah,
You
it's like a
contributed
legit
something
question.
worthy.
Like, yo, what happened? Because like that song was the song.
This
that
is
summer.
why I'm hot. This is
And
why
that,
I'm hot.
yeah, like that was the song.
This is why.
And
This
then
is
after
why.
that, they
Remember
tried
when
to
people
follow up.
couldn't understand? We didn't know where he was from.
Nope.
He could have been from any part of the country because every aspect of that song had a different. It had a down south part. It had a west coast part. It had an up north
that
part.
beat was so
it had a midwest
hard.
swing. The beat was hard. The hook was perfect. Like what that and that
But
literally
you know what
was
happened?
the song of the year.
That was the song of the summer, the year, whatever. But you know what happened? Like everything else,
What
if the follow up isn't there, it's
is that? What it was?
close
I don't
to.
even remember.
He
a
had another
follow-up.
song. I just remember the video was awful.
Oh gosh.
And then after that, never heard from again.
Really?
I didn't. And
Mims.
we're always, when we work in music, dude. We're always like,
Right.
we're always in the websites for like new music news, new hip hop news. This person's
Right,
back.
right, right.
This person's touring. This person has a mixtape. I have not seen a text that featured the word Mims on any. I could be wrong. He could be playing clubs with like mixtapes that he's dropped and we just don't know
Right,
about it.
Right.
I just that
could
that
be
was
possible.
the latest person that I was like, whatever happened to? So we're gonna try to do it every week, where or whenever we think of somebody, we go, oh, that's when we got to put in the
I'm
podcast.
going to speculate right now
Of where Mims is.
of where Mims is.
Hit me.
You ready?
Hit it.
Mims cashed in on his chart-topping #1 hit
Mm-hmm.
and bought a string of condos and now Airbnbs them in Orlando. That's what I'm going to say.
That's
Mims
actually
is
pretty
doing.
genius, and you might be overestimating his.
Mims bought
That'd be a great story, though.
3 to 4 condos in random different buildings around Orlando, and now
Why
Airbnbs
Orlando?
them because I felt like he was from Miami or Florida or somewhere.
Nah, he was from Harlem.
Right, but I feel like, okay, he was from Harlem, so he wanted to get into a nicer, more comfortable weather, and he had some money, so he moved to. He couldn't afford Miami, so he goes to Orlando instead. Orlando got the magic. Orlando has, the attractions of Disney
I
and
thought you
all
were
this
gonna
other
go.
stuff.
I thought you were gonna go Miami because the Miami Heat, and this is why I'm hot. I thought you were gonna make that
No,
correlation.
I'm not that smart. However, don't you think that'd be if someone
That's a
told
good
you that
story,
that's what
yeah.
happened with Mims?
If you told me
You'd be
that,
like,
I'd be
"Yo,
like,
good for him."
yeah, I'd be like, that's genius. The man capitalized on the one hit he had,
Right,
and he made a good, solid money investment.
right.
I, on the other hand, don't think that happened.
What do you think happened?
To put a positive, I hope that he's just been putting like on the low mixtapes and EPs that just aren't bubbling to the surface.
Right,
And that he's still trying to make it or just putting out music and it just hasn't worked out.
right.
But if not, and then we're gonna, hypothetical lies, if
Right.
that's even a word.
I don't think so.
I just hope he's not like working at fucking Target or some shit.
Shout out to all the Target employees.
Well, yeah, I don't mean it like that. That's a fall from grace. I don't wish that shit on.
No, I mean,
and I
you
don't
go
wish,
from
and I
number
don't
one
wish
on the
that shit on,
Billboard
and like
to-
I don't wish that shit on anyone.
If you go from #1 on the Billboard to the checkout dude in aisle 5,
Yeah.
then clearly,
I mean, Target has great benefits and
yeah, it's better than.
fair pay. I'm not saying
better than
it's
other
bad to work
places.
at Target. I'm just saying to fall from that,
If you know what's going on with Mims, hit us up. Use the hashtag #BackOfTheClassPodcast and let us know. Yo, we
And to
see
reiterate,
Mims.
this is not a negative segment.
Not
It's
at
just
all.
legit. Like, I would love it if these names resurfaced again, and
Right.
if I don't. The strength of our podcast isn't that great, but I would love to initialize a conversation of like, holy
Yeah.
shit, whatever happened to him? Like,
Yeah.
and then you find out they're making music, and then you become a fan, and you're like, holy shit, he's been
Right.
dropping heat for like
Right,
3 years underground. I didn't even know. That's great.
right.
I think it's a cool way to get refamiliar with people. So,
All right, so we're going to end this as we always do. What are you listening to this weekend?
I think last week I said I was gonna listen to the new Isaiah Rashad record,
You did?
and I did not get a chance to
Okay, so now it's back on your plate.
because I had shit to do. But I'm gonna try to get back into that again. I think that's it. And I just, what I've been doing? I've been binge watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine a lot. Do you watch that show?
Absolutely not.
Check it out. It's fun. It's funny. You like it because it's like that 30 Rock feel.
Right. See, I don't like Andy Samberg.
Oh, then that's a deal breaker. Then
Yeah,
you're not gonna
I
like
don't
it.
really like him.
So I've been doing that, but I'm gonna listen to Isaiah Rashad this weekend. What do you got?
I'm only listening to Nelly all weekend. My man got bills to pay, and he made some quality music. So I'm going to go listen to some
So you don't have to
Nelly.
pay to listen to it. You just listen to it.
No,
on,
I
like-
already paid for my title subscription. So I'm
So
just,
what if I listen to my free version of Spotify? Because I don't pay for them streaming services, bruh.
No, well, the commercials pay for your
Oh.
listen. So yeah, go
So
stream
you
some
know what
Nelly.
I'm gonna do? I'm gonna leave my computer on for the weekend, and I'm gonna just hit the repeat button on Spotify for Hot in Here
That's
or
what
for his
people have
album.
been doing.
And you know what? God bless him if he makes that money back.
That would be, how awesome would it be if we heard a report that Nelly's next residual check from Spotify was $2.4 million.
I mean, it's
because of the
not,
repeat.
but there is gonna be a spike in his dough when maybe he'll see a deposit amount in his bank account and be like, "The fuck,
I think a lot
$25."
Right. I think a lot of $25. I think a lot of artists, if this works out, a lot of artists are going to be like, put out false allocations of owing
Yeah.
IRS
At
money
least
to
he
get their
didn't
records
ask
out.
for it. That's the good thing.
Right.
That's why
A lot of fans
I'm
came
not
to
really
the-
that mad at it. When it's guys who go out there and put videos like, help me out, this and that. It's like you're asking for help because of something you messed up on. Like that's
Right.
kind of in ill taste.
Yeah.
Because
I
like that's
feel
the
you on
new
that.
shit, dude. People are like, I got credit cards that I gotta pay off. I'm gonna start a GoFundMe,
okay.
and it's like,
Right.
fuck you, I'm not paying your bills
Right,
because
yeah.
you. Nah, it's not how it works.
Kiss my sword. All right,
Word.
man.
All right, kid.
That has been episode 33, a.k.a. the Larry Bird episode. I can't think of a 33. I want to say it was Herschel Walker.
Nah, he was 32.
Herschel Walker was 32?
He might have been 32 or 34.
Oh, man. I don't know.
Rodney Hampton wasn't that. Basketball could do it all day. Grant Hill.
All right, let's see.
Damn, Grant Hill's the only one I could come up with that shit.
I could do it all day. You
Hersey
get one.
Hersey Hawkins was 33,
Hershey
I think.
Hawkins. I called him Hershey. See.
Yeah, I called him that for a while.
Hershey Hawkins. Oh, man. All right, let me see. Google is my friend, number 33.
Elijah Wan was 34. That's next week. Elijah Wan's next week, bro.
Yeah, O.J. Simpson.
OJ was 33?
I'm clicking on, O.J. Simpson. Boom, number 33.
Holy shit.
Come on, man. O.J. Simpson, Larry Bird, Grant Hill, and Patrick Ewing.
Word.
There it is. Hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll see you next week. Peace.